How would you really enjoy spending your life? And anything you can be interested in, you'll find others will.
Let me explain why I'm done with all that.
Guess who's back?
So for those of you who don't know, I'm Lex Griffin, also known as Lex Fitness, and for those of you who do, welcome back. It's been a while since we've been in a raw environment a little bit like this, and we're going to discuss why I am no longer going to be a fitness influencer, and where we go from here. You know, we started out this channel, which was basically me making it for the accountability of going and doing some natty bodybuilding shows. And it was a hopeful thing that, you know, maybe I'd get some free protein and stuff, which I did. And it just so happened that at the same time, there was a small company you might have heard of, called Gymshark, that got in contact with me, which at the time was just two guys, Ben and Lou, who were just building the business out of essentially a small unit full of asbestos. Obviously, over time, that relationship grew, they grew, I grew along with them, and we got to do some amazing things. We traveled the world. I saw a business explode and a whole community start to just develop from this super cool positive mentality. And it was a whirlwind of a ride, and it was honestly some of the most fun I have had. I wouldn't take back any of it at all. It was so much fun. It was really, really like being part of a family. But as fun as all that seemed, it also came with its pressures. The fact that we were in this uncharted territory, that myself, I was doing it just for the enjoyment and the love of content that had grown of its own accord. It was organic. And that was the beauty of it. It was organic. Since then, obviously, a lot changed. It became much more corporate. The whole marketing thing came in. It became very company orientated. And obviously, I started with other companies. I've worked with many of the big companies over the years. And as great as that was monetarily, I found myself being pulled further and further away from what it was that originally had pulled me in and kept me so happy and focused and enjoying what I was doing. And I'm a big advocate of, if you don't enjoy something, why are you still doing it? Can you tweak it so that you will enjoy it? Or is there something fundamentally wrong? It really isn't fulfilling if it's not based on the thing you love. And this is the problem. How do I put this? It's not a fault of anybody, okay? It's just the nature of what happens when companies get bigger and start to look at everything as a percentage gain, loss, you lose the humanity. You lose the connection. And for me, I did all of this, everything you see on this channel came about from human connection. That was gone. Yes, the money that was getting paid was fantastic, but you end up tailoring what you love doing more towards fulfilling their needs on a contractual basis. What happened is I started eroding the core factor of what brought me to YouTube and what brought you guys to me for the sake of the edit. My focus was so much on creating a captivating edit that helped integrate the contractual obligations, because I didn't just want to spam, and I ended up sacrificing my enjoyment of making the videos for the channel. I know you can see it. I do. I know I can see it, but I know you guys saw it more. And this is why we're here. Over time, I've gone through some trials and tribulations in personal life. I've gone through losing people like my grandfather. I've gone through divorce. I've gone through moving many homes. I've got a new relationship. I'm now a father. No one teaches you how to be a father. No one teaches you how to suddenly adult on a scale of times 100. The reality of it was I lost myself a little bit. I've lost myself over the years, and why didn't I just change it? Like, why did I let it carry on? And it's because I'm human, and we get stuck in these tunnel visions, and we forget that when you're locked into this one spot, this one view, that there's all these other options out here, but we get fixated because we don't want to admit defeat. But it's not admitting defeat if you just step into another lane. You're still moving in the same direction, but you find the lane that you enjoy again. And if you do that, everything is going to take an upturn. Because the basis of anything that you do is that you fundamentally enjoy it. My enjoyment came from the fact that you guys who supported me through all that, who essentially gave me all that opportunity, you did this. I created the content, but you did this by supporting it. And that is huge. And I will be forever, ever grateful for that. Forever. The way that I felt I deserved that was because I was helping you guys directly. What I was putting out was helping you guys. And that got lost. It got lost for the edit. Because that's what I started putting things on YouTube for, was just to put things out there, information that as I learnt it, that I would impart, hoping that it helped somebody else by not having to go through those fault lines and get straight to something that works. I love that. I love the personalness of it. I love the fact that I receive messages from you guys. Somebody, so I'll sometimes spend an evening just voicemailing back to you guys. And I hope that those of you who receive those voicemails appreciate that I appreciated you reaching out to me with multiple personal problems and feeling like I'm somebody that you can turn to for help. That is beautiful in a way I can't describe. And that all got lost. It got lost because I started focusing on the fact I had these deadlines for contracts and that I had these obligations to feel like I was being worthwhile to these companies. Why? Because what I was doing was worth that value. So why would I need to suddenly change to try and create the value? It was already there. And sometimes we just need a big old kick in the nuts to remind you, hey, dickhead, you can simply change it. Get back to the thing that made you happy, because that in turn will always generate the positive end result you're looking for. You cannot force it. You may have noticed I'm not wearing anybody's kit. I had to be honest with myself. And the fact is that I don't want to stop doing this, but I can't keep doing it the same way I have been. It's a hard reality to take that maybe you've been down the wrong path for quite some time. It sucks. So I made the tough decisions. I didn't re-sign contracts. I didn't go seeking new contracts. I took time and I talked with people who I care about and care about me. And it's time. It's time to bring it back to what I love. This. Vlogs. I'm going to bring them back. Raw vlogs. Not getting lost chasing an algorithm. Not getting lost worrying about numbers. And more than anything, bringing back that connection and hopefully bringing back the community. This was the most beautiful part of what I did. It was honestly like we had created the world's first most progressively positive cult. And any other benefits that come from creating that, amazing. I want you involved here. I want to bring you back into my life because it's real, because it's actual content with information that you can say. It's not just some sexy edit that you can appreciate. I know the Worst Pain series is still kicking ass, and it is great, and but that is a highly edited. It can only be that way because of the technicality of it, and I enjoy making that. I want to be doing something showing you what I'm doing, how I am progressing in life, benefits I've found, how I'm able to stay in shape, get back into shape, change things that are not creating progression anymore, or show you what I'm getting involved with because it's adding progression to my mentality, to my physique, to whatever. It's just anything that's positive that I can then impart and show you, whether you just watch out of interest or you go and do it yourself. Because some of my simplest videos are some of the ones that landed the hardest with people who were struggling and helped them the most. And that wasn't even their intent, but that's fucking awesome. And for those that don't need the help, it's just fun and enjoyable to watch because it's easy. I want to make this a place that you come to for positivity and for something that you can take away that's going to go and benefit yourselves. Now, is this a sensible thing to do for me personally, financially? Hell no. No, it's not. But is it a sensible thing for me to do to be fulfilled and to mentally relieve stress that I put on myself? Yes. And that's more important because I can. I am beholden to no one. I can say anything I like. There's no restrictions. This is the beauty of what I want to do. It's going to be raw, but it's going to be real and unfiltered. The fact that there are massive ups alongside massive downs, and that is absolutely normal and that's absolutely human. When you say it out loud, it's kind of crazy that I didn't come to this conclusion earlier. It's like when you see those people who are in relationships and all they're doing is arguing. You're like, dude, if you're arguing with somebody every day, just leave. That's not healthy. That's not good. You shouldn't have to fight that hard for something. Stumbling every so often or being fed up every so often is normal, but every single day hating it? Change. We can take these leaps and we can take these opportunities because that's what it is. And if you see it as that, there is no end to its potential. It doesn't mean everything's going to be rosy off the bat. Far from it, you know. It is what it is. What are you going to do? You're going to roll up in a ball and hide? So here's the deal. I'm prepared to work harder for you. Not for a company, for you. All I need from you is for you to be on board. Give me some focus. Give me some direction. Let me know where you want to see. Let me know what you've been missing from YouTube. I would love, fucking love, to get the old crew back together at points as well. Ogus, Lovato, Jeff Seed, great characters as well. They weren't just a good physique. These dudes were fun to be around. I would love to bring all that back. I wish it could have lasted longer. I wish it could before, but damn it, dude. Money rules. Becomes its own little monster. And less of a family. From a broken home. Bang a comment down there below. Boom, focus, and then let me know what it is you'd like me to focus on. I'm going to read them all. I'm going to try and reply to most of them. See, I'm not going to make the same promises and say, like, I'm going to reply to them all, because I'm setting myself up for failure. And if you reach out to me on social media with a real problem that you're asking for help for, I will always do my best to go through messages, find those ones particular, and reply. And if I miss it, I'm not ignoring you. I'll always do my best, because I feel I owe that to you guys. No, I don't feel like I owe it. I do owe it to you guys for that. Not only that, I want to do it. That's the thing. So where do we go from here? That is the big question. And if you have been keeping track of the podcast, especially, which I've kept running and been very, very open with, that is now on this main channel called the Crewcast. It did have its own channel, but it was mainly on Spotify, iTunes, and all those audio platforms. But I do have video Spotify as well. And on that, we cover a lot of quite personal topics. We also cover things in depth with scientists and things that we have on there. There's been some really cool episodes. Links for it will be below. There's some recent ones. Go check them out. They're cool. We're going to keep the Worst Pain series running. That's going to be a staple. It's going to be filmed 2 to 3 times a month. So you get 2-3 episodes a month, if not more. Just, I'm not putting too much pressure. Mitchell runs his own business over there. Obviously, I'm starting all this new stuff here. I've also got some very exciting other opportunities completely aside from fitness, which involves maybe some of these things. I am actually going to be launching an entire new channel, but it is completely separate from fitness, and it is going to involve much more gasoline, fire, and stupidity. This is another enjoyment of my life, which is fossil fuel burning engines. Over here, we're going to be focusing on the vlogs, and you know, I want to integrate you into some of the family life. I don't want to be just wandering around showing, you know, hey, I'm going to go poop. I mean, the focus is still going to be the fitness. I want to bring it back to the raw fitness. And by raw, I mean really freaking raw. Because if you've been hanging around, you'll have noticed that I have not been to a commercial gym for probably about a year now. And this is a personal choice of mine, simply for the fact that, luckily for me, I came up through that golden era of fitness becoming fashionable, okay? It was a huge movement. But as a repercussion of that, gyms are now full of half-asses. Just this. Dopamine addicted to a phone. I don't care if you're lifting 8 kilos or 80. Me seeing other people just working, just trying, just busting their asses, motivation, and kicks me into my next set. That was gone. That was gone. It's like a mechanism. Weight down, hand in pocket, phone out. I wanted to go over and shake them. It's my personal issue, don't get me wrong, but it would annoy me because do you understand how powerful the gym is? So you don't have to be here to try and be a monster, but it's so powerful in helping give you a break from the world, a break from the noise. Be free. Realize. And it's annoying because that was my reprieve, you know? That was my church. I feed off the people around me, and that's both true in and out of the gym. So when I'm in the gym, when I first started, when I was 15, 16 years old, I used to thrive watching the guys train. I remember watching these dudes squat heavy and be like,
let's go. Let's go.
Now what do we see in the gym? You look around, 80% of the people. So you pile these two things up. The contractual work that's leading towards the edits and taking me away from what I really love doing and causing mental roadblocks, to now the place where I would go to escape that and rejuvenate and refresh and come back and attack it was also kind of falling away to the grasp of social media. Now don't get me wrong, some of you are very lucky and you're at these gyms where this is still a case, where you walk into somewhere and it looks like, you know, there's a dude in there who could eat you. Or there's just somebody in there that is just kicking ass fitness-wise. That's sick. And you can learn from all those people, and that's what's cool, and you can make friends, and this is what I mean. It builds and it builds and it builds. There's your community again. And the same friends and people who are now reaching out to me to offer me other opportunities in other avenues so that I can keep doing this and still provide for my family, which would be amazing. to be able to provide my family and provide for you guys, absolute dream. Genuinely it is. There's no bullshit. It genuinely is. I love it. I really do. I feel whole. Does that make sense? And for a lot of time I felt empty. So I took it back in-house. I started setting up my own garage gym. Now it's not perfect, it's far from it. In fact, I wanted to start these vlogs with this cool whole, oh, I've set up my own garage gym, I'm taking it in-house, I want to bring you with me, da-da-da-da. And even that, I got stumbled on because I didn't think it looked perfect enough, or the lighting wasn't quite right. Just more of the same nonsense. I was allowing to cross over, so even trying to make changes, it was still crossing over. For me, this is, you know, but I understand that this is not something that should then let me not film or do this freaking video, which I put off for God knows how long because I wanted to get this perfect. Why? Nothing has to be perfect for you to just get going, and if you always wait for things to be perfect, you'll never start. So here we are, and this is it, and it will get better, but it is only as good as this is now because I have friends that came and helped me. So in the spirit of bringing back the vlogs, here was a little bit of an insight on how that went. Copyright. Woo, okay. Alrighty, righty. And nothing can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong. That's the face of a man who doesn't know his microphone's just gone. And this is the state of everything that I had to get into the garage after it was dragged out to try and create my own little zen zone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bikes. Not enough bikes. The plan is I'm going to show you how you take a cluster fucking dicks and turn it into a space that will not only be beneficial for your visitors and should be a footer and a hoo-hoo. Stop looking at me, Swan. Yeah, he might work the wisdom. That's my buddy Lee who came to help. What I was trying to say is this for your mental state and your body, these little zen zones. So the clear out began as obviously this was just everything was rammed into the garage and needed pulling out. It was an absolute cluster mess. So then we needed to move the shelves from here to the back wall to maximize the space for the gym bit. And then I said something hilarious because I'm a funny guy. So in 3, 2, 1, bam, done. And this obviously maximized the space. What we didn't maximize was our ability to work without issues because yeah, apparently we packed everything behind motorbikes. So this was the flooring of which I needed, kind of essential. I was supposed to buy 2 of these, but I thought, yeah, 2 is good. So I got those. But then, I thought, what's better than 2? Yeah, many more than 2. So we did that. So then it was a simple task of a bit of recycling and then laying the floor. And obviously, once we've successfully done that, we needed a welly break to have a welly throwing competition because obviously procrastination is king. And when you're king of procrastination, you're also king of the wellies because Lee threw his out of bounds. And even if it was classed as still in bounds, I still won because mine went further. So I did some more recycling, then moved like Dracula. And whilst Lee carried in some more heavy metal stuff, I did some more recycling before finding out that big fridges have wheels that pop out from underneath because we needed to move the fridge. So obviously, instead, I found some padding, which demonstrates some self-defense on Lee, where you can use it to defeat an assailant with some uppercuts because you block their view. And you can also do a Van Damme flying headbutt. There's a callback. Yeah, you see? Told you Van Damme makes sense. And also the OP power of the mum's slipper whack. So then obviously we went to move the fridge, but got distracted with the clothing line that I used to own. If you remember, it started out as Desire, then became DSR. Well, I actually did a load of these skinny, really highly tapered jeans, so you didn't have any bagginess around the ankles. Then said something hilarious. And yeah, I still have these. I never actually got them put up due to moving and a lot of other logistical things causing havoc. So maybe that's something I return to in the future. Then I literally aired my dirty laundry, which sent Lee over the edge. So he decided that was it for the day. And he tottered off after spending probably 5 or 6 hours helping me out. So thank you, Lee. But remember that bike. It will come back. So this was pretty much, we got most of the stuff organized, some things binned, but obviously it was starting to look a little bit rammed again and not exactly like a zen zone. So like a man, I sat on all the stuff I should have been getting rid of, ate some rice cakes and procrastinated like a hero. So obviously after that, I promptly went rooting through some boxes, found some cool comics, some Batman chess pieces, a certificate that lets you know I'm a super man dude because I swam with sharks, and also manly toys. See, it's just odds and sods now. Some of the bits that have got to go, but they're going. So yeah, it's just the novelty is worn off. I'm starting to regret. Oh, too much crap. If anything in here, I think it's breeding.
Go dumb me go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. I OD. Apply pressure, put heat on them.
This is what I'm working with at the moment. A power rack, bars, cable system. After again just having this whole thing of, oh, should I, shouldn't I? Invest in yourself. With this just basic setup, I've been able to maintain a decent standard of, you know, physical development. Now, I've by no means been perfect. I've had probably some of the slackest training regiment I've had in the last 15 years. And luckily, the time and effort I put in prior to this means that my muscle doesn't atrophy or disappear very quickly. It needs minimal stimulus to maintain to, you know, a decent enough level. Am I as pumped or as tight as I would like to be? Absolutely not. But that's great because it means, one, I'm happy to admit that. Two, I understand that a lot of you are going to be like, hey, you on your worst day is still me dreaming. And I appreciate that compliment, but it doesn't make a difference as to where you are on the road, does it? We still have where we are and where we want to be, irrelevant of what level down that road we are. So there's definitely improvements that I can make. There's definitely changes that I can adjust and I can show you that we can then build on together to help you guys progress faster, keep me accountable, and also see how much development I can make to myself with just basic kit. We can put things out like what you guys would like to see me get in, see me try, or even recommend that I get because you found benefits from. That is fun for me. That is what I would enjoy doing. If you've been watching the Worst Pain series, you'll see how much of this we've fixed and that I've actually completely revamped the mechanics of my body so that I can now squat and do leg movements as I should be, targeting the muscles rather than the joints taking the load. So that is an error fixed, which you should hopefully see a lot of progression from. I am going to completely restart my leg training to help develop my chicken legs. Genetically not gifted. I have very high insertions, so the only way my legs ever look good is if I'm stood in pants. Everything else just cuts off my insertion. It sucks, but that's genetics. So it's tough titties. So I'm going to show you how we can make tough titties squeezy titties, which is the brilliance of being perfectly imperfect, which I guess most of us are. So there you have it. Slowly but surely, this space is becoming my own little vision. And over time, we're just going to fine tune and get better and better. And hopefully some of you guys can take some inspiration from it. We'll see what some of the kits, whether it's good, whether it's bad. I just invested in some adjustable dumbbells. Actually pretty decent. But mainly I've been taking the basics, but I've been applying some new protocols to them. Some things I've been trialing for a number of months, which have actually worked really well to what I believe has helped me actually develop either better tissue, maybe new tissue, but I've definitely got a little bit thicker, and I shouldn't have earned the progression I've had with the number of training sessions I've been doing. So something is obviously working, and I'm going to share it all with you guys, just like I used to do before, the stuff that I really enjoyed. Like when I was a PT, it wasn't even on YouTube, and I was just training or coaching or doing nutrition, because that was a time I could physically see what I was teaching was actually creating a visual result. But more than anything, I could see the improvement in the person as to who they were and who they became when they liked what they saw in the mirror, or the fact that they just saw that the effort they put in was being rewarded. And that's what I'm doing for myself as well. I'm going to put in the effort of being accountable with my training and my videoing to you guys. And hopefully for you, it will be an asset to your time on YouTube. You know, so you can watch me learn some stuff and then go watch some dude crash a tank into a giant bowl of Jello. That's not a bad video idea, actually.
Holler if you hear me!
We are going to make a pact that every day from this fucking point onwards, we're going to live with good intention. Yes, we will not be a soft, the world owes me this and that and the other, namby-pamby human being. We're going to be accountable. Yes, if only in the smallest way. We are going to aim to be better today than we were yesterday. Even if it's one daft thing that we do, we're going to make a conscious effort to do that and praise ourselves for it. Because if you get a lot of little wins over time, they will build up to a big change, a big reward. I promise you, rather than aiming for that one big thing, you just do a lot of little things consistently. Trust Lex. And last and not least, which is the philosophy of why we are doing all of this, we are going to aim to help others at least once every day. And again, no matter how small, but you're going to help. You're going to not be self-involved. And in those things where normally you would go, sod it, you're going to go, I'm going to go help with that. And I know it sounds all hippy-dippy-dappy, but you don't know how that one small thing that you see as insignificant and could have been ignored, that you do that helps somebody else, you don't know how powerful that could be for them. Now, it could be just as small and insignificant as it is for you, but it might not be. And that's the philosophy of what we're running off here, that it might bloody not be. So why not do it? There it is. If you'll have me, I am genuinely excited to get this back underway and to get back to doing what it was that brought me here in the first place. And if you're willing to come along for the ride, I'll appreciate you. Because remember, life is a balance. The shit that they try to make complicated really isn't. Let's bring it back to the basics and let's just start making every day a little bit better again. Because remember, life is a balance. And sometimes we just need a little reminder to get ourselves back on track. And yes, there's going to be some cigars and there's going to be some whiskey involved. So hopefully I'll catch you in the next episode. The first episode of the return of the vlog, which will be up very soon. Thank you all for the support. Thank you for everything that everybody who's already been watching me has done. Thank you to everybody who's going to join in. I appreciate you all, and I hope that I get to speak to you all soon. Yeah, no need for a cool editing ending. I guess I just kind of... I guess we just do this.